message from the management. Eating or drinking while watching these videos is not advised. You do this at your own risk. And please don't come running to me when you snot coke all over your computer screen. Hi guys, welcome back to Exposed. And if I'm welcoming you back and you like it here, I'd love it if you stayed and subbed. I did what I wish I knew. 10 things I've learned about skin treatments. And then the next one's a Friday haul, and the one after that is a Walmart try-on. So I'm going to skip them two, because I want to get onto this, my thoughts on life, money, family, and protecting my peace. And then I'm over it. And then I'll do the more than a haul and the other bits that I've missed. And then I've got to go back and do the other ones that I was doing until I ended up missing more again. But anywho, where am I? An hour and a half! Whoa! What was she talking about for a fucking hour and a half? Okay, strap yourselves in, get a drink, get a snack. This is going to be a long one. I wonder, should I make it a two-parter? I'll see how, because it's nearly my bedtime, so I'll see how far I get with it, and I might have to make it 2 parts, but obviously you can put the 2 parts together. I'll put them on the same day so you can just go from one to t'other. But anyway, right, less approval, more peace. Less approval. What do you mean? You're looking for you don't want approval, you're not asked. There's something I'm noticing as well, is her eyes. What has she done with her eyes? They look strange. The whole time with that 10 things I've learned about skin treatments, I was wondering what was wrong with her. Is it because her face is still swollen? Yeah, swollen, right, okay, whatever. Anywho, less approval, more peace. My thoughts on life, money, family, and protecting my peace. She did one of these before, I remember, back in the day. Anywho, shall we jump in?
Hey guys, okay.
I would love to do you on double speed, Lisa, but not everyone can keep up with you. Oh, that's a great thumbnail, that is. I'm sure I'm going to be spoilt for choice in this one, aren't I? What was that just popped up? Hang on. I want to make sure I'm not showing my or anybody else's personal stuff. Remind me to check the beginning. Right, off we go.
Hey guys, okay. I am trying to get my lighting set up here. I'm in my closet room upstairs.
I'm trying to get my lighting set up here. I'm in my closet room. Lisa, you know you film in there. You've got umpteen lights and fucking cameras and tripods and fuck knows what else you've bought over the years. Bear with me guys while I try this new shit. Set up a setup in there. Set up a setup in your fucking studio or whatever the fuck you call it, and have your thing to bring out downstairs, and have the thing set up on your acrylic table so you don't have to fuck ass around with it. You just go to wherever you want to record and sit the fuck down and talk. There you go. I'll save you fucking hours of frustration that way.
And I am going to do, hopefully, all of your questions. I asked for your questions on Instagram. That's a little bit easier for me. And
that pisses me off no end. I'm doing a question and answer video. I'm asking you for questions on Instagram. And I'm doing the video on YouTube. So the people on YouTube that don't have Instagram didn't get a chance to ask a question, and the people that have Instagram that can't be asked for YouTube won't know the answer. And you're lying through your fucking teeth, Lisa, because you ask nothing on your Instagram. I check your Instagram almost every day, and all there ever is that picture of when you were in Gossip magazine, or what the fuck it was. You've still got that picture up since I checked earlier. When is it? March? January? Yeah. You haven't changed, you haven't put up anything new since March, and all you ever put up on your stories, which disappear, is new video. Go over to YouTube and watch my new video. So where did you ask for questions, and how long did you leave it up? And are you going to say, Josie asked, Sharon asked? No, because nobody fucking asked.
And I did a screenshot of all of them. So I'm hoping to answer them all. This may be a long video. So get your Diet Coke, your coffee, your wine, whatever. Let's just spend some time together. Okay, so I've been watching you on YouTube since you first started. Any money?
Oh, she is doing it. Well, where the fuck did you ask? Because I didn't see it. Missy Mel. I've been watching you on YouTube since you first started. Any money advice? Why would you say I've been watching you on... Okay.
Any advice? Okay. Gosh, and I have only read through these questions one time, so they may...
Once, and you shouldn't read through them. You should just let them pile up and then answer them as they fall. Because if you've read them once, you know what's coming and you've planned the answer, or whether you're going to answer it at all. We're never going to get through this at this rate, are we? With me yabbering on.
May take me just a minute. I would say my best advice is get ahead. Always get ahead. And then, like, I don't spend any money that is not just free money or isn't allocated to something. I'm always ahead of everything.
Tell her about when you didn't used to be, and you were writing bad checks to cover bad checks, and your electricity got turned off, and you couldn't cope living on your own, and you had to run home to mummy and daddy. Tell her that. The only reason you're ahead of yourself now is because of John. Ask John for tips, Missy Mel.
Even with like my lipsticks and lip liners, I paid as I went so that when they got here, who cares? I mean, I want to sell them all, but I didn't feel like I was behind the 8 ball. And then we've already hit what we put into it. So now it's all, somewhat profit. So that's what I've always...
What do you mean somewhat profit?
Done is try to get ahead. Now, I'm not saying I've always been good with money. The only time that I ever got into a little bit of a pinch was when I got divorced. And we had to sell our house. It was a bunch of stuff that I went through. And I moved into an apartment, and I did not have a roommate for a while. And then my brother moved in with me because he broke up with his girlfriend. And I was already so behind, I couldn't catch up. I've been very good about learning lessons. I always think to myself, I do not ever want to feel this way again. And I do whatever it takes for that. Now, good decisions. Good decisions on who I chose to marry. Good decisions
on... fuck off. She's asking for money help. Which bit of that don't you fucking understand? Put away a £5 in a jar in the cupboard every week, whether you can afford to or not, and have a rainy day fund. Don't ever get a credit card. If you can't afford it, you don't get it. You save until you can afford it. This reminds me of Tech Help. He walked in and he went, "You know that thing you've been telling me to do for ages?" And I'm like, huh? And he went, "I've opened a savings account." This was a few years ago now, and it's like, yay, hurrah, finally. I moved out when I was 16. I was paying my own rent, paying my own bills. I never got behind and didn't pay anything, because if I didn't have the money, I didn't put the lights on. I had this flat, and it had no central heating, and it was really cold in the winter. And we had like £1 meter for the electric and 50p for the gas. And when I had a fan heater, and when I put the fan heater on, the electric meter was right beside me where I sat in the sitting room, and I could see the thing spinning at 10,000 miles an hour. And then I figured out if I put 50p in the gas and left the oven door open and put the oven on, that heated the place quicker, better and cheaper. You work things out, Lisa. Oh, get ahead. How? She's asking you for tips. Where's the tip? Get ahead and marry well. Well, she doesn't want to get married.
On different things I've done to make money. Good decisions on saving money. Good decisions on not using credit cards.
So tell her, give her tips. Good decisions on. That's no help. Right, Brooke's moved. But what did you say to Brooke when she moved out? Make good decisions. Well, that's really helpful, Mum. Thanks.
Good decisions on, I would say this is a big one too, knowing what to want when. When I had small children, I didn't want a Louis Vuitton or a Chanel bag. That wasn't even on my radar.
How did she ever pass a fucking thingy course? What is she? A life coach. How the fuck did she ever do that? She couldn't coach a fucking snail. What the hell? When I had small children, I didn't want a Louis Vuitton. Nobody fucking does. All you want is a fucking good night's sleep.
To me, the ultimate was the Kate Spade. Or, just different things. I pulled out of the driveway yesterday, and I had put Lola's car seat in the back seat because Will was with me. And when I looked around, it reminded me of my car seat that I had for the kids. I cannot even remember. It was a leopard print, but it was a really expensive, safe car seat. And I actually made Will ride in it too. And it was I think it was Britax or something, and it was expensive at the time.
Expensive. She's not asking how much you spent on your fucking kid's car seat. She doesn't want to hear you bragging about what you bought and what you didn't buy. She asked for tips. Where's the tips? I see no tips. For once, she's got a fucking Tia and Tamara put away.
And so I would pick the things that I wanted, luxury. And then for things for me, I told you I lived in Old Navy, Loft, different things like that. Gap. So I've always known.
Gap isn't cheap. She never would have coped if she was me. Just saying. Like when Jed and I were first married and we had tech help and we were eating mystery soup with bullet peas from Quick Save and toast, and that's all we had, a tin of soup and some toast, to make sure that he had nappies and clothes and fucking Johnson's baby bath and everything that we needed to get for him, and we were starving. Oh, I went to Gap and Old Navy and the Loft. I really slummed it.
And what to want, kind of when. And, I've gone even above and then realized it didn't make me that happy, like above the level that I even wanted. And I've pretty much settled on what I want. Okay, so I hope that...
No, it didn't help. I want Missy Mel to come and tell us what she thinks of the answer she got. Oh, has anyone read the comments for this? I bet the comments are a doozy. But then, see, her lot are too fucking scared to say anything, aren't they?
Answers your question some. I would just say get ahead. If you get ahead, then you feel good about the money that you spend. But when you get behind, it is so hard to catch up. And I probably never would have had I not moved home with my parents. And then I was able to catch up. And then I met John and was engaged 3 months later and married 7 months later. And I was very, very picky about who I married because I had had a bad experience. And I had already had a lot of money. I already had a brand new house. I already had a new Corvette. I already had those things. And through divorce, lost them. And so I figured out I couldn't depend on someone else to make or break it, or I had to be very careful who I chose. And
Fuck off. I couldn't depend on... John did fucking everything. You were up to your armpits in debt and he paid it all off. And that, because other people go, oh, he made her say what she spent and why she spent it. Well, because she wasn't to be fucking trusted with money. That's why. But still, she got 50 quid off her parents for cleaning their house, and John doubled it with another 50. And she gussied herself up, her and Brooke, and off they tootled to the mall, and she spent the whole $100 on herself and came home and did show and tell, and nothing's fucking changed. Every Friday since, she's done exactly the same, only the bar's gone up and up and up and up. Give the man the credit he deserves. He was the one that got you out of the mire, not you.
And I had to be responsible for myself, too. That is, I think I've always been very self-reliant, even as a child.
Selfish.
But I really realized then that I need to really pay attention and make good decisions. Okay, what are you going to do about going to the pool or beach this summer because of your skin? Okay, I think what I'm going to do is sit under an umbrella and use sunscreen. I think that's what I'm going to do. I was thinking about this.
I think that's what I'm going to do. Isn't that what normal people do when they go out in the summer? Haven't you been planning for this with all your laser treatments and everything? I think that's what... Fucking moron.
Hey, I think what I'm going to do is sit under an umbrella and use sunscreen. I think that's what I'm going to do. I was thinking about this yesterday. You know, they say if you want just a little bit of sun, to make sure you go out in the early mornings and the late afternoons and just stay out for like 20 minutes or something. And then you get your vitamin D and you might get a little bit of color. And I thought about that yesterday, and that's still on my mind a little bit, but I haven't really come to a conclusion. I don't want to undo the good that I've done with my skincare, but I also want a beautiful life, and I want to enjoy the things I want to enjoy. So it will be putting on sunscreen like I do every day. I've really enjoyed those great big bottles of sunscreen that I got at the vacation and the banana boat, because I have them sitting there. They're actually upstairs, and I pump it out, rub it on like lotion. It's not as, I don't know, it just feels easier to me, and they smell so good. And the banana boat, not banana boat, it smells like banana boat. It is the, oh my gosh. So the one is vacation, the other one is Sunbum, and it smells like banana boat, which I used that and Hawaiian Tropic and Bain de Soleil when I was a teenager. And so I put those all over my hands and everything. And
Really? You're only just realising this at your age, and you live by the beach in a hot climate.
So that's what I plan on doing. But I give myself freedom to change my mind. And that is some great advice that I would give you. Give yourself, make an intention, like what is the end goal? And if you need to kind of rework some of the things that you thought you were going to do it. Give yourself that freedom. A lot of other people won't give you that freedom. Give it to yourself, and you will live a happier life. Don't hold yourself, and this has been a problem I've had. I would hold myself to a rule or something I set. I'll even have this voice that says, don't be lazy, or, you know, different things like that. And I really got worse when I was studying and following and really learning about self-development. And I was watching a lot of men talk about entrepreneurship. And then all of a sudden, I felt like I needed to get up at 5 o'clock. I needed to have this rigorous routine when that's not the way for everyone. So, you know, I always say, create the life that you love. Create your own little bubble. And we'll get...
You've always been in your own little fucking bubble. And wasn't it you who used to brag and blow and bluff about, I get up at 5 and I have everything done by past, and then I have John waiting on me hand and foot for the rest of the day? Just in case anyone is interested, Tech Help just brought this home from work yesterday. Pepsi peach flavour. Doesn't say Pepsi Max, it just Pepsi Zero Sugar peach flavour. I wasn't sure about it when I started drinking it. By the time I finished it, I liked it, but I still think strawberries and cream win hands down.
Get into more of this later, but really get to know what makes you happy and then go from there and give yourself room to pivot, to double down on the things that you like, to be able to get rid of the things or maybe people that are bringing you down. Okay, nail routine. I think you do your own. Any tricks for longer wear? Okay, I do my own. Sometimes right now I have on, the first thing I had put on was the Gel X, and then I've had them filled one time. But the secret, the ultimate secret to doing your own nails
is never doing anything around the house so that you mess them up. Don't cook, don't clean. Certainly don't pick up dog poop.
Is Seche Vite. There is no way I could paint my own nails without.
Will you check who you're fucking telling to use Seche Vite when there's a chance of problems with pregnancy? Just because it doesn't affect you, it affects other people. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's something about fertility or something to do with the fetus. Hang on, shall I look it up? I'll be responsible. It contains chemicals such as toluene. That's been taken out of most things. Anyway, known to cause birth defects or reproductive harm. So just think about it when you're advising people that you don't know how old they are to use it.
Out Seche Vite, and then the best cuticle remover I ever used was one from Amazon, and I will list those. Everything I talk about I'll list below. But I tell you, I have cuticles that they are just industrial strength. I mean, they just don't want to give up. And so that is one of the things that made me want to get nails again, because I know.
Do you actually know what your cuticle is? Didn't you do a video on it or something? It's one of them ones I've missed, isn't it?
Never have to worry about my cuticles. The downside is getting them done, having to sit there that long, the money, and not being able to change the color on a whim. But Seche Vite.
Yes, you can. You can paint over what they've done. The perfect base to put whatever you want over the fucking top of it.
Just has to be it. And I do like using OPI Nail Envy for my base coat. Okay, how did you decide to do this full time, and what was your first big payout, brand deal, or views? Okay, you know, I started this very organically just because I felt like I had something to contribute. I loved makeup so much, and at that time it was a small group of people doing this, and it was almost like we were talking to each other and a few viewers. And so the first big, I guess I remember looking at my brother. I was with him in the car, and I wouldn't doubt if we were like test driving a car or something. And I looked at him and I remember saying this, I made $300 last month. That's not bad, because in the beginning, people were laughing at me. They thought it was funny that I was doing that. They couldn't believe that I was making videos. And I just didn't care. I enjoyed it. I've never let other people really hold me back from something that I want to do. And I'm very good about knowing that there's more to come. There's more to come. There's more to come. And then I would say when I sold Rachel K on my website, that was the first time I ever made thousands. And looking back, I wish I would have. They offered for me to buy the whole company, but they had started, the US had started considering sunscreen a skincare and regulating it more. And that is when they changed the consistency or the formulation of Rachel K CC cream, and our packages were getting stopped in customs a lot. And it was just getting to be not the greatest. But I would say that...
Oh, it started to become more like a job, and you didn't want that, did you? Are you going to mention the big, huge fucking box of stuff that you got from Rhonda? That was a payday and a half, wasn't it?
That's the first time I made, bigger money, thousands. Okay, let's see. I'm curious about how YouTube works, as in how do you actually get started? I have really thought about this because I've actually thought about doing a YouTube class, like a course on YouTube.
Please don't. You know what happened to your other courses? Wah, wah, wah. Lisa, there are people that have videos on YouTube that I can watch for free, and so can you, and so can anybody else, and they give you all the different tips and tricks and things to do, blah de blah 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 blah. And do they charge you? No. Why would someone pay you when you're buying subscribers hands over fist? 648 today. She's gained 32,000 subscribers in a month, and I've gained 35. Not 1,000, just 35. And I'm very grateful for that 35. But 32,000, fuck off. And when you get there, fuck off again.
YouTube. But honestly, the best way to learn something is to learn it from someone who's just a couple of steps in front of you. So
fuck off, Lisa. So you saying, I'm so far ahead of you now that I'd be no use to you. You need to get somebody, like that mean English woman. Go and ask her. Vile. You're vile. Do you know that? See, these are the things that people fucking miss. She's so far up her own fucking hole. It's a wonder she can breathe. Maybe that's why she's got a hole in her nose. What would I say to that woman who says, what do you do? Open a laptop, press record, and off you go. That's how we all started, talking to ourselves and feeling really stupid. And soon you get over that and you realise that people are listening to you. When people are listening to you, obviously there's fucking nobody at the beginning. I remember, I think I had my YouTube channel before Lisa. And I used to just watch people and I'd comment on everyone. And I'd always put XXX Jules XXX because it's like kisses. And because I commented on everybody in the beauty community, one of the girls said to me, you should start. And I said, who's going to want to watch me? And she said, just start. So I did, and I've got another channel in case you're wondering. And I made videos and I really enjoyed it. And it was never, like she said at the start, it was never about money. And you really didn't mind about numbers either. It was just when someone else joined, you were like, people actually want to listen to the garbage I'm talking. And it was fun to do, and you learn as you went. It's like they say, how do you learn to swim? Just jump in and get going. It's one of those things. Nobody can teach you how to have a YouTube channel, and nobody can teach you how to have a personality. So if you've got nothing to talk about and you haven't got a personality, no one's going to bother watching. So it depends on what that lady's interested in and how she comes across on camera. But the only way to do it is to just press the button and talk to yourself. And then you can watch it back afterwards. And if you think you look a twit, You can just bin that one and start again. It's no big deal. Do you know what I mean? It's lives aren't involved. It's not life or death. Do you know Sorry, I'm itching. I've got a heat rash and it's driving me insane. But yeah, no, just do it would be my answer to whoever that was.
If I went to go start a YouTube channel now, it would be so different than it was when I started. When I started, you couldn't post a video at over 15 minutes if you weren't a YouTube partner.
10 minutes?
You couldn't pick your own thumbnail if you weren't a YouTube partner. And I believe you got to be a YouTube partner when you got over, I don't know what it was. Was it over 100,000 subscribers or something? It was a little bit stricter than it is now. And
no, it isn't. It's stricter now than it was then. I got made YouTube partner because of the amount of views I had on my account. And I turned the computer on one day and it was like, huh? What? I can make a longer video. Woohoo! That's all I was thinking about. And then at some point, years later down the road, they decided, oh, we're changing. We're moving the goalposts. And a whole load of people that were YouTube partners had it taken away. And I had it taken away. And I've never been able to get it back again on that channel. I have on this one, but I just don't bother monetizing it. But, yeah. Anyhow, we're never going to get to the end of this, are we?
It was something I loved doing. It was intriguing. Once I made a little bit of money, it was great because I was a stay-at-home mom. Like my first video, you can hear Madagascar.
And we are known at the makeup counters because we can't get enough.
Blaring on the TV. That was when we had that great big TV over our fireplace. And we always had a cartoon on. And it was just...
Hang on a minute. Where's the pause button? Right, that was Madam. She had 105 questions about being a YouTube partner. Then she went off to empty the bathroom bin, and then she came back to have a wee. And I'm not allowed to film when she's in the bathroom, even though I've told her a gazillion times we can't hear her. But so then I went and started paleo up because she was taking so long. And I've been reorganising fish, and now I've forgotten completely what I was doing or what I was saying. And I really should be in bed by now, but I'll do another few minutes and then I'll come back and do some more tomorrow, but you won't know the difference. Well, you will, because I'm going to tell you I'm back, but... right, look at that face.
I don't know, it was a good time. When my kids were young, it was just a good time. My biggest dream ever in my life, ever, from the time I have memories, was to be a mom. So I thoroughly enjoyed being a mom. I always tell them, I tell John...
I thoroughly enjoyed being a mum. So as far as she's concerned, that's done now. She ticked that box. Because she gets these ideas in her head. It's like she said in a video, oh, I wanted to work in an office and I got all excited about what I could wear to work in an office and it wasn't all that. Wonder what if she'd have had a baby and thought, oh, it's not all that, and now you're stuck with one and you don't know what you're doing. I want to be a mum. I want to be a stay-at-home wife and mother. I want to have children. Then I want to do whatever the fuck I like with the rest of my life. Once my kids hit a certain age, my fucking mothering is over. Just listen to what she says.
Forever, from the time I have memories, was to be a mom. So I thoroughly enjoyed being a mom. I always tell them, I tell John and them, they made my dreams come true. I always wanted a family, and I wanted exactly what I have. So, Maxine, you know I love your name. I always tell you that. Okay, I'm just going to give you my advice. I would talk about things that you're passionate about. I would be as authentic as possible because that's what makes it easy. It makes it where it's easy to talk, it's easy to respond, it's easy to make videos.
Hang on a minute. Take help, wanting to know did I want anything?
It's easy to not have a script, it's easy to do everything, is when you are talking about things that you truly love And I would be willing to do it for the fun of it and just the passion. And you're going to, even if you're not making money, you will be rewarded by subscribers, by views, by comments, and getting better and better, learning as you go. A big piece of advice I would say is don't get hung up on a camera, lights, all of those things. Do it on your phone. I started on my webcam on my laptop and just do it. Do it messy, correct as you go, and take every little thing as input and then course correct, like I talk about just in life. And if you see that one particular video is like, say you're like me and you love fashion, you love makeup, you love hair, you're a carnivore. This hurts me in a way because I have different people here for different types of videos. In a perfect world, you would be doing one thing and it would be very clear. I'm not even really clear on the age of woman that I guess I would have to say I'm talking to women of like minds around my age, but I'm also talking to...
Lisa, you know exactly who you're talking to. All you have to do is click the little button in the back end of YouTube that says viewers or whatever it is, and it tells you their age, their gender, where they live, obviously not your home address. So you know exactly the age and the gender of people you're talking to, but you just can't be bothered looking.
Younger women, and I'm wanting to be a role model for younger women. So I am kind of all over the place, and therefore I probably don't get the views that someone who is straightforward, let's just say makeup by Nikki LaRose, or someone that just does fashion all the time, because people know I'm more of that restaurant like Cheesecake Factory. I'm pulling in a lot of different people for a lot of different things. Whereas, a steakhouse or Taco Bell or whatever, everybody knows what they're coming in for. And if you were to hit that person and say, okay, sorry, today we're not doing tacos, we're serving fried chicken sandwiches, it would be weird and a lot of people would leave. So I would try to hone in on those things that you love and be... If you want to be several different things, realize it might be a slower run. I hope that helped. Okay, how to get through toddler, little kid years as a stay-at-home mom. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old girls. Oh my goodness, the best. I would say always remember the days are long, but the years are short. And I heard a saying the other day, and I'll probably use it in a lot of these questions, but the person said... I can't remember who it was because I've been listening to a lot of different more mindset videos. Sometimes I love listening to those in the car and podcasts and stuff. And the person said, you can have everything you want in life, just not all at one time. And I thought that is so profound because...
Oh, for fuck's sake. And you were supposed to be a life coach.
Because when I was a mom of young children, I wasn't fascinated with handbags. I liked a handbag. I would usually get a new one every year. I loved it. It was important to me, but it wasn't tippy top. The kids were. So I spent,
Really, were they? Aw. Aren't you good? You put your children first. Don't remember seeing that.
I looked good every day. I had clothes, but I would have kind of like my mom uniform where I would go to like Old Navy, Gap, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. And if they had a dress I liked, I bought it in every color. If they had a skirt I liked, I bought...
Oh, yeah, you were so hard done to, weren't you? That you could walk into a shop and buy all the dresses or all the skirts and all the tops. Fuck's sake, you're clueless, Lisa. Absolutely fucking clueless as to what is going on in the real world. And how people are juggling heating and eating. paying one bill and not paying the other one, going without food so their children can eat. Clueless, fucking clueless.
Bought it in every color. One year I remember wearing a whole bunch of skirts with white tank tops. I might have 4 white tank tops. And so I would make it where I loved my outfit, but it was easy to get dressed and quick.
What has this got to do with helping the lady with her 2 under 5-year-olds? Tips for looking after 2 children under 5, and you're going on about what you did and how you wore clothes and what you bought and what you... Not a narc though, are we? No.
I had my makeup, and it was basically the same makeup every day. I wasn't in there trying to try new things. And, sometimes I think when the kids got older, a friend of mine sold Mary Kay, and I remember that being fun. Until they got older, I didn't really worry about stuff like that. What I would try to do is I had a routine, and I always thought when they look back at their childhood, I want them to remember me taking them to Chick-fil-A, and we would find a shady spot and we would just sit in the car and eat and talk to each other. I didn't really focus on every day taking them to a museum. Not that I didn't, but we did.
Really? When? When did you take them to museums?
Everyday things, and I tried to make them special. And I always wanted them to be able to look back and remember us laughing and remembering feeling loved, and they got my undivided attention. We would do every afternoon, we would go out in the yard and water the plants. So then, I got to have the fun of being a homemaker and having all these flowers. I bought all kinds of little, fun. Target was the best. Fun little garden gloves and shovels and all kinds of watering cans, and we would make it a thing. And then we'd be out there until John came home, and then we would go in and start the night process with a bath. And I loved cooking. I was really into like Pampered Chef and making a fun meal. I
loved cooking. I was really into Pampered Chef. Wouldn't it be? I loved cooking. Their favourite meal was... I always baked them their birthday cakes. We used to I'd choose what we ate Monday, Brooke Tuesday, Will Thursday, John Friday, and then the weekend was a free-for-all. No, I was into Pampered Chef. It's what you bought. It was the stuff you had. Not the meals you cooked or the time with your... Fuck's sake.
I would take them to go pick strawberries, and we would make strawberry freezer jam. We would go pick blueberries. And make a cobbler. We would do different things. I would let them help me cook. We went to the beach. And I know when they're really little, it's hard as a mom by yourself to do a lot of different things. So I had to be safe. And Jungle Rapids was a water park I would take them to. We would mostly do things like that and the beach with John on the weekend, because I was aware that I had 2 small children, and I didn't feel like, I was safe completely unless we went to just certain places. Like, we would go into...
You didn't feel safe in your teeny tiny little beach town that nobody needs to hold their bag really tight, because that doesn't happen where you live. No, it wasn't about feeling safe. It was that you were fucking incompetent and couldn't look after 2 small children at once.
Target, and we would immediately go over to the snack, and Will would usually get goldfish, Brooke would get popcorn, they'd get an icy, and I would just do the mom thing. I loved
do the mom thing. We'd walk around Target and I'd look at things I wanted to buy. For me, while they ate their sweets. We went shopping. Do you not see? God, this fucking
being a wife, a mom, a housewife, a homemaker. I remember just loving doing the flags outside, changing them all the time, setting my table with the different placemats and themes for every single.
My, Delilah. Are you listening to yourself? Narcs, they just can't help it, can they? It always comes back to them.
Holiday. What was fun to me was doing the things that I could do either with my children or with my children right there with me. And so...
Oh, the things you could do with your children there, like shopping at Target and looking at makeup and...
So I knew that wasn't the time to want to travel. I never went on a girls' trip. I think when Brooke was a baby, I had more like girls' nights out, but I swear John would call me every time panicking about something. I just knew what to want. We did a lot of things with other couples that had kids so that we could go to their house or they could come to our house. Couples that we felt close to, that you didn't have to worry about what your child was wearing or if they cried or if they said something, if they didn't have the best manners or something like that. You know, don't put yourself in positions that are stressful. So I hope that helps.
Fuck's sake. But she's really happy, folks.
Biggest thing I would say is to enjoy it because those days never come back again. And every stage of your children's life and of your life is really special and different. So you need to make the most of each stage. And that's what I feel like I'm here for, is to let you know you've got plenty of days ahead of traveling, of buying designer handbags.
Will you give up about the fucking designer handbags? Not everybody on the planet wants a designer handbag. And not everybody on the planet is having children and going, how many days now till I can stop spending on those two and buy myself a handbag? This is why she could never be a life coach. Never. Because she doesn't understand the basic woman. I don't know how people watch her videos and then compliment her. I just do not fucking understand.
Of buying Chanel, know what to want and when to want it. And know that you can have everything, but just not at one time. I think those are good things.
She wanted to know about help with the kids, not when can she get her first designer fucking handbag. Anyway, I'm done. Because I'm too tired now and I'm going to end up losing my temper with her. So I will come back and do more. For you, it'll be but a blip.
3 days later.
And we're back.
And being on YouTube, I feel like they're very relatable to women everywhere, because when I was coaching and talking more one-on-one, there are a lot of dynamics within families, you know.
When I was coaching, so that means you're not doing it anymore. No, because nobody's bothering to pay you $333 for a load of fucking nonsense.
Sister-in-laws or even friend groups. Oh, I think the worst were the mom groups. I felt like that was the judgiest that I had probably ever been around. So I hope that...
Because you were looking down your fucking nose at them. And if you weren't, and you were feeling insecure because they had designer handbags and you didn't, now you're the nasty mum looking down your nose at other people. Elevator lady. We will never forget, Lisa.
When I give you advice, it might be for something that's kind of particular to me as a YouTuber, but use the concepts in your own life. So, and friendships, friends for a reason, friends for a season, friends for a lifetime. That is a big one. I think I heard Mel Robbins say that. I still will think that someone is more of a friend than they are, and I'll set myself up to get hurt and disappointed. I've tried to not spend as much time or energy on those people and double down with my time and energy on my true blue friends and go even deeper with them, and then not spend.
That's what you should have been doing all along. Who are you telling, Lisa? Tell yourself. We know this.
Time. I really don't. There's going to be some things in this video that might sound cold, but they're not. If you really know what I'm talking about, I don't need a lot more friends. Because my parents and my family are my best friends, I don't want to spread myself thin. I'm not a big networker. I don't want to be friends for a reason is not my goal. I want friends for a lifetime, and I want friends right now that enhance my life. I
want friends that enhance my life. Not a tart. Not a narc, though, are we, Lisa?
No more tolerance for any person in my life that brings me down. Period. End of story. I don't care if I didn't have a friend at all. If that tells you anything. Okay.
That tells me everything. That all you want is people blowing smoke up your hole. You can't bear anyone telling you the truth or having a differing opinion than yours.
After losing weight, did your skin become crepey and loose? Absolutely. Absolutely. This month is 6 years on carnivore, and I lost over 30 pounds, and I've kept it off. And that did happen. I will say autophagy and your body just being so amazing.
What's autophagy?
I've kept it off. And
where's the thing?
And that did happen. I will say autophagy and your body just being so amazing. A lot of it will help itself. And
Hi. Right, I'm back again. I don't know what's going on. I keep getting interrupted and my head's mashed. Oh yeah, it was that thing. What did she say? I need to look it up.
That tells you anything. Okay. After losing.
Okay. If there's a question under the question you just answered, you read it. Shows she's picking and choosing, doesn't it?
Weight, did your skin become crepey and loose? Absolutely. Absolutely. This month is 6 years on carnivore, and I lost over 30 pounds, and I've kept it off. And that did happen. I will say autophagy.
Is that her new word? Trying to make me look stupid. Body's natural cellular recycling and degrading process. Autophagy, from the Greek for self-devouring, is the body's natural cellular recycling and degrading process. It allows cells to break down damaged proteins, can't even read today, old organelles and pathogens, converting them into energy or using the components to build fresh, healthy cell structures. What's that got to do with crepey fucking skin? I've lost the point. Someone explain, please. Makes no sense.
And your body just being so amazing, a lot of it will help itself, and a lot of it is just your age. It's like I went from 50 to now I'm 55, so I guess 49.
Really? Wow. Was it 49? God, you're so clever. You did that without your fingers as well.
To 55. And so, that's part of it too. But one thing, this is silly, but one thing I had to get used to is just putting lotion on all the time. And I would think to myself, well, it's not really doing any good. It's just a quick fix. Like today, I don't even think I put any on. But Think about conditioning leather or anything that you condition. Who cares if it just looks better for a little bit? Go ahead and do it anyway. And then, work.
Oh, putting lotion on's too fucking difficult for Lisa. She has such a hard life, doesn't she? Bless her, poor little thing.
Working with retin-A or retinol body creams and glycolic and lactic acid body creams. That really does help the texture. And then lasers and peels are really...
What texture was your fucking skin that you need industrial strength fucking skincare, glycolic acids, retin fucking whatever, and lasers? Skin. I don't... What? What did she need to get fucking... Even my elbow? There you go, laddie. That's what a real elbow looks like. But what the fuck? What is wrong with her skin that she needs all this shit doing? I dread to think what it's really like.
Helpful too with the body skin. Okay, are you still going to any workshops and are you still doing subscriptions? Okay, so I'll tell you, the one event I went to that was so rewarding was that Think Media big thing I went to. It was a convention in Vegas, and Dave Ramsey was there, Shalene Johnson.
Hello.
Before I forget, happy anniversary.
Oh, thank you. See you later.
Was there. A lot of speakers were there. I think John Bevere was a Christian speaker there. And just Think Media, just Sean Cannell and that whole cast. I enjoyed that so much. I went right by myself. I was with a lot of people.
Oh, you went right by yourself because you're a big girl now.
People I didn't know, and I loved it. I loved it as self-enrichment, and I felt very enthused by that. I would love to go to some more things like that. Wow, I'd love to go to a Tony Robbins or something like that, but it would just have to come up. I'm not going to seek it out. And then if I have any YouTube events coming up, I got invited to the LTK Style Conference, but I feel like that got to where it wasn't a place I enjoyed being. It was very, very cliquey, and it was very just kind of like that party I went to when I was in New York, where I'm walking around, I don't know anybody, and I want to talk. Everybody's so into doing a thing. It's like no one was...
Like you do on the fucking street all the time. And excuse me, I can't see one of these people in this picture apart from that girl at the back that's got a phone in their hand. These three people are having a conversation. Those two are having a conversation. He's talking to somebody. That whoever's got their back to us is talking to... Oh, they're having their photo taken. But do you know what I mean? It's like everyone's like that according to you. They're not. She just hasn't grown up, has she? She can't cope. She has to know everybody, or they have to be blowing smoke up her hole, or she feels uncomfortable.
Was really there. And if they were so grouped together that there was no way they were going to want to talk to anyone else. And I just looked around that room and I was like, look at everyone. They're not even enjoying each other. They're just worried about taking...
Yeah, and you were looking at everybody not even enjoying yourself, and they probably thought, look at that really aloof, fucking miserable woman over there. I'm not talking to her. She'll bring my mood down.
Pictures and doing... But see, that's what it is. They're doing what they're there for. So it made me really think, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe this isn't the place for me. I do love doing things like that because I feel like it's always self-enrichment. When you push yourself outside of your comfort zone, it was fun to be in that hotel. It was fun to go to the event. It was fun to get some good pictures taken and document that time in my life. I did talk to a few people that it was, fun to talk to. And, I would do it again in the right circumstance, but I don't want to do that particular one. So I will be doing more things. Can you do it?
But you didn't answer the question. See, you went off on a tangent about where you went, what you enjoyed, why you went there, why you're not going back to anyone, and you didn't answer the question that she asked about subscriptions.
An update on your HRT journey. Are you still on the same dosage, etc.? And I was thinking about this. I'm on the exact same thing that I probably was on the last time I did a video, and it is the progesterone pill and the estrogen patch. It's the Dottie patch, and it's 0.05. And I'm the kind of person, you'll notice with me, it's not that I won't revisit something, but when I get into something, I do a form of like crowdsourcing. I will go from doctor to doctor to doctor and get information. I may try product to product to product. I may ask friend to friend to friend, expert to expert, and then I'll get something that works, and I pretty much am done with it. So unless something, okay, I will say this, it has intrigued me, all the people talking about being on testosterone. And so I want to learn more about that. And
Why? You've just said you've got what you've got and you're on it and you're on an even keel. But no, Lisa needs to find something else. She wants to do something else. She wants to dive in head first into something that she knows fuck all about. I want testosterone. She's having it.
the benefits of that. So I would say that has intrigued me. I haven't opened my mind to anything but what I'm doing because I'm happy with it. I do think I'm so glad that it's become more acceptable to be on HRT and that the studies have gotten more precise, and I wish I would have gotten on it sooner because I got on it like I was already through menopause. I think you could probably even benefit from it in perimenopause. In perimenopause, before you go through menopause. Menopause is only one day. So I'm post-menopausal, so I guess perimenopause. So that's all.
Menopause is only one day. What is she going on about? Please, somebody tell me.
All to that. And let's see, what is your signature perfume? When I read these questions yesterday, I looked at Brooke and I said Bobby Brown Beach, and she said, or Estee Lauder, a Bronze Goddess. Those would be what I would say are my signature scents. I've gone through the most bottles.
They've killed my signature scents. Fuckers. It was white linen. Oh, sorry people if you're wearing headphones. It was white linen and they've gone and fucked that up. And then it was Tova signature and they've gone and fucked that up. And then they had Tova on QVC the other day. That's another thing I used to buy from QVC. They were selling Tova, so I put a question in because she does one. I called it Earth, Wind and Fire because I could never remember the name. It's Body, Mind and Spirit or something like that. Anyway, and she had tests done on it, and they said that there's actually something in the combination of what she's put in this bottle that actually makes you feel better when you spray it, because she said people kept telling her that, and she was like, there's got to be something to this, so she had it checked. Anywho, I put a comment in and I said, have you changed the recipe for Earth, Wind and Fire like you did with her original scent? And then they wrote back and said, oh yes, we thought we'd do this and it makes it a lot more, what do they call? Oh, I don't know what they said. So they fucked about with that as well, so I can't get that now either. Oops. Oh, the whole half a side of my Alt button is about to come off. Not the button itself, but you know the paint on the top. I've got a, can you see that, or will it switch off? I'm going down as far as I can. I've got a, no you can't, I don't think you can. I've got a pre-lit, backlit, a rainbow backlit keyboard on this laptop, and because I've got long nails, some buttons I hit with my nail, and the Alt button, when I'm playing Palia, I need Alt and the tab button to get from the game back to the computer, and I hit it with the side of my thumb, and my thumbnail was really long, so I've now got a big white, well not white, it's orange, but I've got a big line down the middle. I tried putting nail polish on it the other night, but that's obviously worn off now. It's okay on the shift button, but on the Alt button it's not. I'm going to have another go at it. No, that bit's just come off. Oh, that's good. It's the button that's broken. I'm going to have to get a new button. I shall ask tech help later. Anyway, let's get back to Lisa. I need to thing that out now. I was showing that to Jed. I may as well make a comment. Anyone watch my Lardy videos? There's a bloke doing them now. Zach Mallory also. And on his third one, he's got 9,991 views in 22 hours. Insane. I was just sending that to Jed saying, fucking hell, how quick did he get that many? Mind you, he has got 25,000 subscribers, so I suppose he's obviously got real subscribers, hasn't he, if he got that many. Is it 991 or that? Oh, I don't know what I'm saying. 9,991, wasn't it? Anywho. The peppermint tea's out. Got gut rot again. Not that any of you care. Right, let's get back to Lisa. What did I take? Did I even take the picture? Do you know, I don't know what I'm doing today.
Due West was my signature scent when I was in my 20s.
Who was?
And most what would be what I would say are my signature scents. I've gone through the most bottles. New West was my signature scent when I was in my 20s. And I would say, if you had to say a fragrance that smelled like me, it would be Bobbi Brown Beach or Estee Lauder Bronze Goddess. In the winter, I still like I really love that Joe Malone fragrance. And the Mason MFK Kirky, those two, the Raspberry Swirl, I think is what the Joe Malone is. I feel...
No, it's Raspberry Ripple, and you laugh every time you say Ripple because you're a child.
Like that's me. That's me all year round, not just in the summer, and I can wear it in the winter. And I could probably keep thinking of more, but I'll go with those. Okay. Thank you for everything you do. Do you realize you are an inspiration for us?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love inspiration. I yearn for inspiration. So that is a great big compliment to me. Like if you watch my videos and it inspires you to put your makeup on, or to have a better relationship with your family, or to embrace motherhood, to travel alone, that is so gratifying to me. And years ago,
We do that already without you.
remember thinking, is this so petty and frivolous what I'm doing here? Does God really want me to do this? And I feel 110% sure this is where I was supposed to be. And so I feel good about that. And I do always want to bring good things. You know, I've said I don't want to be called an influencer. And someone said, well, why don't you call yourself an influencer? You're always selling things. I'm not, anything I talk about isn't just to sell it. It's what I genuinely like.
Yeah.
And I think it would be silly not to list it. And I'm not going to deny, I like making a living. I don't think there's any shame in working, but I have found a way. I have a dream job. I have found a way to make money sharing with you the things that I love. If I wasn't doing that, you would see me sharing just random things all the time, just different things.
You do share random things all the time.
I turn down so many brand deals. I mean, I only do what I like doing, and I don't even have to be paid by the brand. So that is what I would say to that for inspiration. Thank you. Okay, how are you beautiful kitties going on with Lola Bunny? How are my beautiful kitties doing with Lola Bunny? They were so curious at first, and they each would come up to her crate. This was like maybe the first morning, because yesterday was 2 weeks that I've had her, and she's 14 weeks today. She's downstairs with...
Oh, she's seen your comment where you said she'd be 12 weeks when she did the last video, and she didn't say that. Not watching here though, are you? Have you learned anything though, Lisa? That's what I want to know. Have you actually listened to what we're saying and taken it in and thought about it, or have you just got annoyed?
Brooke now. Brooke's cleaning out my closet, the floor of my closet, if that tells you anything. That's how bad it had gotten. And Brooke brought her some new toys today. Chanel, I think her and Chanel are going to be friends. Chanel and Bridget were friends. The thing is, Lola's coming on a little too strong right now. She jumped up on Chanel this morning, and Chanel had the meow and just a little reach out, but no claws, no squealing or anything like that. And then we got her away. But I think that they will be friends. The other two just don't care. They just don't care.
Why did you get her away? If nobody harmed anybody, that's how they figure out who top dog is. Chanel needs to let Lola know, yes, I like you, you're a cute little thing, but you came last, know your place.
So, let's see. But Lola is not, she's running around my room, and she's running around a little space in my office. But that is as far as her confidence has gotten so far. Okay, Sasha K. Hey girl, I miss my girls on my membership and in my classes. I do.
What is that saying about all your other subscribers, Lisa?
Miss you all so much. Just know that. I could cry. Okay, no question.
Cry. So why didn't you keep up your membership then? Because it was too much like hard fucking work and you couldn't be bothered. Oh, but I miss you. Just send me the money anyway and know that I love you.
Question, just adore and appreciate you more than you'll ever know. So I'm telling you, thank you. Do you know how important that is? That is something I think is so important, is to tell your husband how much you love him. Tell your parents. I always tell my parents, you know what I loved about you and Daddy? You never made me feel bad for making a mistake. Or I tell my mom stuff like that all the time. You never fussed at me when I made a bad decision. You never...
Maybe they fucking should have. Maybe that's why you're the way you are now. Did you ever think of that?
I tell them that all the time. All the time. I tell John, you know what I love about you?
Alex, do you know what I love about you? You never did anything to me. Do you know what I love about you? You never fussed at me. Do you know what I love about... So you're not just saying, I love you. Just seeing your face brightens my day. I love you because you're an idiot. I love you because I know if you carry both of my bags of rubbish downstairs, you're going to drop one and spend 5 minutes picking shit up off of the stairs. Usually at least once a week. Jed will go out with a bag full of bottles and cans, and then all you'll hear is ding, 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 ding down the stairs. It's so funny. But when you tell somebody you love them, you tell them why you love them, not because of what they do for you. Knock, 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 knock.
Makes you such a good husband is you do X, Y, and Z. I'll just go in his office and say,
do you know what makes you a good husband? Is you do everything around the house, and I say jump and you say how high. That's why I love you, John. Really? Do you not see? You're giving yourself away here, and your subscribers are too fucking stupid to pick up on it.
He'll look up and I'll say something like, you know what I really love? This is the last one I did. I had Lola with me. I said, you know what I really love? And he said, that puppy. I said, you and this puppy. Thank you for letting me get her. That's the things that I think are special. I think it's very, very important to tell your children why you love them, how much you love them. And anybody in your life. I tell my friends that I love them and why I love them and why they're special and what a part.
Because they do this and that and the other for you. It always comes back to you because you're a narc.
They play in my life. So I think that's important.
The role they play in my life.
Do you ever crave sweets? I don't. And I guess it could be said that maybe my Diet Coke, you know, with the artificial sweetener, is a sweet. But I am so content with my diet. It would amaze you. I'm so content. I really don't crave anything. I really don't. Every night I eat. John cooks me 2 prime filet mignon from Costco. I usually only eat 1.5, and Brooke knows when she comes over if there's ever any steak in the refrigerator to take it. And sometimes John eats the other half. And like last night, he made magic chicken. If you took my carnivore course, you saw him make magic chicken. So I ate a little bit of magic chicken, and I ate my...
What's magic chicken? Ugh. Lisa, can you at least tell us what it is instead of assuming we know? Hang on, sorry. Trying to find the coaster for the thing, otherwise I'll burn the wooden top. Magic chicken generally refers to one of three popular culinary concepts, depending on the context. The meal prep, shredded chicken, a slow cooker method using chicken breast broth and a specific seasoning blend, often associated with tastefully simple. Once shredded, it's frozen into portions to be used later for quick tacos, casseroles or salad. Mayonnaise baked chicken. Ooh. No water magic chicken soup. It's not actually... because that won't be what she ate, just sliced up. Will it be? Just a bit of shredded chicken with herbs and whatnot? Maybe. Can I ask, right? Americans make casseroles that are not casseroles. Do you call them casseroles because you bake them in a casserole dish? Is that why they're called casseroles? Or is that all you do? Do you not do actual casseroles? Right, here we go, in case you don't know. I'm sure you do, because you're all very intelligent women and gentlemen. But, just in case you don't know. Our casserole looks like that. It's got liquid in. And you slow cook it in the oven in a casserole dish or in one of these pots on the top of the stove or a slow cooker or whatever. But if you look, like it's all got a thing in. Yours normally has pasta and 2 tons of cheese on top. See, that's what I call a casserole. I don't understand American casseroles. So, why are they called casseroles? Like I said, is it because you do them in a casserole dish? And that's how they got the name? Or is there a reason? Because it just confuses the fucking shit out of me. Because I remember years ago, like I said, I love that saying, bebopping around. One of those posh girls, there was sisters that did YouTube back in the day, and the blonde one was saying, I was bebopping around the kitchen Christmas morning, driving my mum insane, so she sent me off to the shop for cheese, for the casserole, and I'm like, huh? You have cheese in a casserole? Sounds revolting. So I've still been trying to figure it out ever since then. Anyway, I'll shut up now.
Filet. And when that fat is in that filet, I tell him all the time, it tastes like candy to me. My taste buds are probably so heightened, and every day I eat my McDonald's quarter meat with cheese, and I love it every day. And that might be weird, but I'm okay. I love it. Let's see. Do you ever dream your life would turn out this good? That's like someone asked me a long time ago, did you ever dream you would be so successful? And I just thought about that. And I was thinking, I did. I think it's probably the best I ever dreamed of. But I kind of always have dreamed a step at a time. And so when I was younger, I think I just dreamed of having a family. And then I think my dreams they progress. And I dreamed of having a husband like I do. I dreamed of having a family atmosphere like I grew up with, where my kids grew up around their grandparents and their aunts and uncles. We've done that. You know, when I met John, I had a lot of things I laid right out on the table. Within maybe first 3 dates, I want to be a stay-at-home mom. I'm not moving. John could have made so much more money with his company if we'd have moved. But that wasn't important to me. Being close to my parents was important to me. Being close to his parents, they were, I think, 2 hours away. We would go see them sometimes every weekend. And that was way more important than money to me, or a new house, or any of the things. And then you saw I was so
And then you got on YouTube and all holy hell broke loose and you wanted what they had. And you were constantly chasing money and prestige and your house by the water, but you never got it, did you? Like I keep saying, if you hadn't bought all this shit that sat there beside you, and the closet full of makeup that you've got, and the blazer closet, and the jean closet, and all the shit you've got in the downstairs bathroom, if you hadn't gone wild buying all of that crap, and you stayed in your house a little bit longer, you could have bought a house with a water view. And then once you had that house and you got back on your feet again, you saved up a bit more money, then you could have bought your designer handbags. You said so much how you wanted a house with a water view. You haven't got a sea view where you are. And it's a slither down between two fucking houses, and you can just about see a fucking inlet, and that's it. I've got my eye on a waterfront house. Bonnie knows which one it is. And I swear to God, the day I win the lottery, I'm out of here. And then all you will see is my feet walking on the beach. I'm here. See, isn't it great how she can manifest everything she wants? Did she sell her soul to the man downstairs? I'm beginning to think she did. I want this and I want that and I want the fucking other, and she got it all. But is she happy? No!
Content in my house until I wasn't, until I did want a new house. Now I'm content here. So
For how long?
I just kind of have built the life, my dream life. And I still do it every day. Okay, could you show us how to do an ombre lip? Yes, we would.
She can't do a fucking ombre lip. Really? If you want to see a proper ombre lip, go watch a black woman do their lips. I love watching black women do their lips. They're fucking amazing. Lisa, she can't. All she does is... That's her. She couldn't do an ombre if your life depended on it, Shoni.
Do a makeup video soon with that. Do you have a birthmark on the top of your nose? Yes, that little hole I was born with. It's a little birth.
It's not a birthmark. A birthmark looks like a freckle. Or a large strawberry birthmark. A hole in your nose is not a birthmark.
Birthmark, and it's just a... I remember when I would go get facials, they would think it was like a pore or something, but it's been there from birth. I remember my uncle making fun of me with the little hole in my nose. So that is what that is a birthmark. Okay, what is the best drugstore mascara that you would recommend? Love your videos. Ooh, am I using any drugstore right now? Yeah, I would say the Panoramic by L'Oreal is good. I was a Lash Blast lover. The Orange Tube CoverGirl Lash Blast. I used that for years and years and years. I would give that one a try. And there's lots of good ones. Today I have on...
You had to look. Like you're gonna look at your eyelashes and know what mascara it is. Really? Any excuse to look at yourself in the mirror. I wonder how much this is. Shall I call this half? Where are we up to now? 38 was 21. I think I might be at an hour or something. I'm going to call this here and then start another one. Because those who don't know me and who are watching for the first time are not going to sit and watch an 8-hour long video. Whereas you lot, that's nice, isn't it? Whereas the rest of you, I know you can just click off one and click onto the other, or put it in a playlist while you're doing the housework or whatever. So I will be back in a second with a new one. But if you got to the end of this one, congratulations, and I will see you in the next one.